Well, first things first, I want to thank all of you who entered in the giveaway for the Toyota Tacoma. Now, if you guys are interested in seeing who is going to take this thing home, I'm going to be doing a live on September 9th on my Instagram. The legal team needs about a week. The giveaway ended the 2nd, so September 9th, I will be doing a live on my Instagram. If you don't have Instagram, you will be contacted via email. But either way, September 9th is a big day. Make sure you tune in to the live to see who's taking this truck home. Anyway, let's get into today's video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. If you missed the last video, we got this entire truck ready for paint. We did all the body work, it's all in primer, and we are ready to start painting. What I think I'm gonna do, so the game plan for the truck is I'm gonna pull the cab and the bed off, get the frame out of here. That way, the engine bay is much easier to spray, and honestly, it's just gonna be much easier not having to mask the entire chassis off or any of that. The body is very temporarily installed because I was planning on doing this, so it's gonna be very easy just to lift the cab off and roll the chassis out, and then we'll actually have some room to spray the engine bay. So we are doing the engine bay and door jambs because we are changing the color, and I'm very, very excited about this color. We're doing the underground gray Toyota color. This is on like the newer 24, 25 Tacomas. I think this color is gonna look so good on this truck. But before we go and strip this entire truck apart, I'm just excited to see what this paint looks like. So we have the hood ready to go, we have the tailgate ready to go, and then fender flares and this little valance here for the windshield. I think I'm just gonna spray all the loose ends, just get that knocked out, get that out of the way, kind of get the clear dialed in and see how this color looks, see how this clear sprays, because I am doing a different clear that I've never used before. So I kind of want to get it dialed in before we go and paint the actual cab and the bed. So that's the game plan. What I'm gonna do, unmask the truck, get the truck out of here, set all this up. Like I said, hood is ready to go, tailgate's ready to go, and then the fender flares just need a quick scuff. Those are already painted with 2K paint. Those are from Jungle fender flares, and they are 2K paint, so we just need to scuff and clean those. And then there's these little pieces for the rear fenders and the gas door right here. So all this stuff's really easy to prep out. Let's get this busted out, get everything set up, bust out some paint and sealer. First, before we paint, we have to seal everything with a sealing primer. So we'll do that, lay down a coat of sealer, and then we'll spray it out, base coat and clear coat, and see how this stuff looks. Well, we're all set up, cleaned up, and ready to go for our sealer. We got the tailgate, that piece there, the hood, the little gas cap, fender flares. I did move that one. There's gonna be 2 on here, but what we need to do before we prime is the bare plastic. We need to use a adhesion promoter, and this is the stuff I like from U-Pull. It's called the Grip 4, so we'll spray a coat or 2 of that on the bare plastic. Those flares are painted already with a 2K paint, so those don't need any adhesion promoter. Once that dries up, we'll mix up some epoxy primer. I like to use epoxy primer, just reduced 20% for a sealer, so we'll spray that on. Most likely just 1 coat unless we have something weird going on where it's not covering, but usually 1 coat will do everything, and then we'll wait 30 minutes to an hour and mix up some base coat, spray that, and then some clear coat. I'm so freaking excited to see how this color looks. Well, you're not painting if you don't have any problems. Check this out. This was supposed to be 2K paint on these flares, but my base coat is just lifting it all off. So I talked to my paint rep. He suggested I just wait like a half hour for this to dry up and then hit it with 800 grit, kind of smooth all that out and just try going super light with the base coat. The reason that's doing that is because the base coat's mixed like half and half with reducer, and that's pretty strong stuff. So anything that's not strong underneath is gonna lift. So I'm just gonna try to just smooth it out and then just do like really light coats of base on it. See if we can get that figured out. It's just the flares, everything else looks perfect. So super stoked with that. I'm excited to get some clear on this. You can see it almost looks black, but I know it's gonna look much different with clear, and especially when we get it outside, it's gonna brighten up a little bit. And it's kind of a cool color. It looks black in some lights and like a dark gray in other lights. But either way, we gotta figure out how to get these flares to actually look good. Well, there we go. Got some dirt in the clear, but this stuff laid out really nice. Quick polish and a little bit of sanding and a polish. These things will turn out really good. Flares don't look too bad. The fronts, the rears are over here. This rear was super bad with how the paint underneath was pulling up, and there's some pinholes in this, so I'm gonna have to fix this one. Probably have to respray it after I fix those pinholes, but you can kind of get a look at the color with some light on it with the door open here. You can see it's in the shop, it looks black, but once you get some light on it, you can definitely tell it's a gray. So just kind of compare that to this. You can see how much darker that looks. I think it's a really cool color. And one thing that kind of pisses me off is I didn't realize there was a big high spot in this little valance there, and well, I guess that's just gonna have to be how it is. But either way, paint turned out good. Well, what I'm actually gonna try on this fender flare before I go do a bunch more work is I got some clear coat mixed up. I'm just gonna use that little pick there and just try to dab some clear coat into those little pinholes. They're not that bad. It makes me not want to, you know, completely re-clear and rebase and clear this entire flare. So let's do that. And then there was actually one little pinhole in the hood right there that I want to fill in too. So we'll fill those in, let that dry up, and then when we sand and buff it, obviously we'll flatten out that clear. Well, I gotta say, not waiting a week or even 2 weeks like I have in the past to start cutting and buffing this clear coat, Oh my goodness, this stuff sands so quick, so easy. Now you do have to be careful because it does sand quick on any edges. You can burn through pretty quick, but I'm like 10 minutes into this tailgate and I've got it almost all the way ready to go. So what I'm using to start with is 1500 on the 3M. I'm doing that dry. Make sure you keep blowing off the panel and the sandpaper because you get a little dirt nib or anything in it and it'll put really deep scratches in your clear coat. So 1500 just to knock it down, take any of the dirt out, and then we're 2000 grit wet sandpaper and it sands so quick. So I'm gonna finish up the tailgate and then we'll jump on the hood and fender flares. And this should go way faster than I thought. I just wanted to tell you guys, I've always waited. I always thought it was better to wait till the clear coat hardens up to sand it and buff it, but it is so much faster. It's probably been like 36 hours since I sprayed and it's still soft enough. I mean, it's hard enough to where it actually sands and not just like goops up and scratches it. It sands really good, but it sands way faster. So this right here is kind of what you're looking for. You want it to be a nice uniform surface. This is after 2000 grit. This is just 1500 grit. So we're gonna get down in here. I don't think I'm gonna hit these edges because it's a little bit tougher to buff that stuff. And it honestly laid down pretty dang flat. So I'm not too worried about that. I'm just gonna hit this flat spot because there was some dirt and some crap that landed in this because it was sitting flat and my shop's dirty. So it is what it is. We got to sand some dirt out, but we're going to get that all sanded with 2000 grit. Like I said, we'll move to the hood and flares. We are looking good, guys. Got the hood. Well, we got everything sanded out, flattened out. This we did 1500, 2000, and we did hit it with 3000 grit tailgates here. Everything flattened out really nice, and I don't think I took much clear coat off because it did lay out pretty good. Those are the flares there. So now we got to polish. What we're gonna do is the old Rupes, like I've been using for years now. This is a very good polisher. There's a couple different pads. There's a foam cutting pad and a wool cutting pad. I'm gonna try both and just kind of see which one works better. And that's the first step with the blue compound. And then the yellow pad, yellow polish is basically a finer polish. So that should do it. If there's still swirl marks or anything that we need to polish out, there is another white pad and white compound, like a super fine. I think the yellow will work just fine. I've never really needed to use that white, but we'll go through, buff all this out, and it should look so good. It looks so good already. I'm so stoked to see how it looks when it's polished up. Well, there's the finished product on the tailgate. Took way too much time, but it's literally perfect. It looks so good. So now I'm gonna jump on the hood. Now, what I kind of come to realize is using the Rupes, this one works really good, but it's not that aggressive. Using a rotary on the first step just to like get most of the sand scratches out is way faster. So I'm gonna go back over this with 3000 grit and just make sure it's fully sanded. You can see it's a little bit kind of hazy just because it's not fully sanded yet with 3000. So I'm gonna go through 3000, we'll hit it with a rotary and then buff it out with the Rupes dual action. and that hood should look like that. Well, this honestly might turn out to be the best paint job I've ever done. Cut and buffed. This stuff looks so good. This color looks really good too out in the light. You can see, well, it's kind of hard to see on the camera right now, but it is, I mean, you can definitely tell it's gray, but in the shop it looks black. I really like this color. Well, I decided to spray out the rest of our kind of loose pieces that, you know, aren't on the truck. So we had the grill, so we painted that, and then I ended up respraying this flare because where I had to touch it up, it just didn't look very good. So sanded that back down, touched it up a little bit, sprayed it out, and that's how she's looking. A little cut and buff on it, and it looks perfect. So a couple other things we did is that little core support top for basically the radiator mount and the top of the core support, we got that. And then these lights to match the grill, these clip into the grill. So that surround kind of needs to match the same color. So we got those sprayed out, and then just little tailgate hinges right here. So all the loose ends now are wrapped up and looks so good. I also picked up a couple new toys. I needed a small little mini buffer. This is from Max Shine. I don't think they really recommend running a 3-inch pad, but I bought a 3-inch backing plate, and I did all the flares in the grill and everything, all the small stuff with it, and it worked really good. It's really meant for like 1-inch and 2-inch pads, but it's got a bunch of different adapters in here, and whatnot. There's got some extensions so you can really extend that pad down with, you know, like if you have a little 1-inch or a 2-inch pad, you can get in some really tight areas. So that's gonna be super nice. And then I decided the Rupaz works amazing. I have no complaints with it other than the cord. I can't stand the cord. So I picked this up. This is basically the same polisher, but it's battery powered. And this company actually doesn't make a battery for these. They recommend the Makita battery, but I have all Milwaukee stuff over there. So I decided, I just bought the adapter from Makita to a Milwaukee so I can run my Milwaukee batteries on it. Super excited to try it out. I haven't tried it out yet, but I'm really excited to try a cordless buffer, and this is the dual action, like I said. So we will still have to use the rotary. On your first step after sanding, the rotary just wipes those sand scratches out, and then this gives a really nice finish. You don't get any swirl marks. It gives a really nice finish. So I'm excited to try that out. Well, I was hoping to get the entire truck painted in this video, but that is just not going to happen with the giveaway going on. You can see my shop is completely packed full of boxes and clothes and just crap everywhere. It would really just take too long to get the truck painted. Right now the video would take like a month. I mean, I've already been working on this stuff, all these little pieces that we've painted, the hood, the tailgate, all this stuff. It's probably been like 3 weeks just to get that painted because I haven't had much time. So in order to get the entire truck ripped down, stripped apart, I mean, I need my shop for one. I need to get all this crap out of here so that I can pull the cab off, pull the bed off, and basically spread the truck across the entire shop to paint it. So that's one reason it's going to take forever, and another reason is I just don't have the time right now. The giveaway just ended as I'm filming this, so I'm still shipping a bunch of stuff out. I got to get all this stuff shipped and get all these clothes, all the extra stuff we had left over, get that in a storage somewhere so I have my shop. But either way, I want to thank all of you guys who entered into the giveaway. Like I said in the beginning of the video, September 9th on my Instagram, I'm going to do a live to announce the winner. So don't miss that. And if you don't have an Instagram, I keep getting messages that people don't have Instagram to watch the live. That's fine. The winners will be contacted via email, and I'm going off the email that was on the order. So make sure you have the right email on your order when you place an order on the website. That's how you will be contacted if you win. Well, at any rate, I'm going to get back to shipping, get all these orders shipped out for you guys. If you haven't received an order yet, it's likely going out today or tomorrow. So be patient. Got a lot of stuff going on right now, but this stuff is getting shipped. I'm shipping every day. So don't worry, you will get your stuff. Anyways, guys, I'm out of here. Hope you enjoyed it. Why don't you go smash that thumbs up button, comment, subscribe. We'll catch you in the next one.